Well, good morning, guys. Happy Monday. Welcome to Just for Today. I'm Lisa Kaye with Promise Resource Network. It's 6:30 in the morning. Going to give a few folks that chime on live, see if they come on this morning. It's a foggy, dark 6:30. Very foggy, very dark where I am. And so I tried to set up outside this morning. Didn't happen, didn't work. Couldn't see. So I guess we're in the house today. Um, I'm over at my mom and my dad's right now, hanging out with them. And so we're up this morning trying to create just for today in their space. So it's been a little bit challenging, but we're here this morning. So going to give folks just a few minutes to see, a few seconds to see if they chime on with me live this morning. Well, hopefully today will be a beautiful day. The sun will come up and we will enjoy a happy Monday. Mondays are always hard. I think now Charlotte's going back to school this week. South Carolina's already back in school. So a lot of our routines are changing. But this is just for today. And we're going to get started this morning. This is a 20-30 minute just to kick your day off um, way of thinking about recovery, thinking about having a great week, a great Monday. Mondays can be, the old song, rainy days and Mondays always get me down. It's not raining, but it's really foggy and just kind of misty outside. And if we don't have to get up, we don't want to get up, right? But good morning, everybody. Whether you chime in a few minutes or you watch me later, I hope you can take something from Just for Today. Just for Today is a slogan in the rooms. It is when I say rooms, I mean AANA and Al-Anon. And it is, good morning, Deidre. Thanks for coming on this morning. It is a slogan that we use in the rooms that reminds us to just for today, to take something we hear, a nugget, an encouragement, whatever it is. We may not want to apply it to our lives, for a lifetime or for a week or even 2 days, but for today, we can consider it to see if it works for us. But thank you guys for coming on this morning. Again, I'm Lisa Kaye with Promise Resource. This is just a 20-30 minute kick your day off, kick your Monday off. It is dark outside. I'm at my parents' house. I've spent the last 20 minutes trying to find space to do the class. I was hoping the sun would be up a little bit more, but it is like really, really dark. There's a window kind of back behind me this way. Yeah, this way. There's a door. You can see it's still just as dark, just barely coming up. And so we wouldn't be able to see each other. I don't think it'd be really hard. It's really foggy this morning. And I know I'm your weather girl too. It's going to be hot, like 92, so dress appropriately. But if you got to get out early this morning, get out with a little extra time because right now it's pretty foggy out there. So where I am in South Carolina. But good morning, everybody. It is Monday, and I believe it is the 23rd of August, which is zipping by us, guys. And before we know it, here we are, and going to be hitting fall, and then all of the other things change. And so for right now, I'm still embracing summer and hoping to get out and enjoy the rest of the warm weather as we wind the summer down. But guys, just for today, I want to bring something that is something that came to me last night and this morning. Good morning, Erin. Thank you for being on this morning, girl. And we're going to talk about that this morning. I've got some readings out of my recovery material that'll go with this. It's called Learning to Trust the Peace. Guys, I have lived in chaos for the last 20 years. I am a person who has endured a lot of traumas. If you hear my chihuahua in the background, she's playing with a cat right now, so hopefully she'll settle down. Maybe not, but we'll get through this, or she'll get through it, one or the other. But I've been in chaos for 20 years. I'm a person in long-term recovery on the family side of addiction. Also, I'm that codependent warrior, just just had lots of different things that I needed to work on over the last 20 years. But unfortunately for me, I didn't discover recovery till about 5 years ago. And I've been working hard on it. But for the last 20 years, I've lived in chaos, 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 with mental health, addiction, all the traumas and the dramas that went along with that. And today, I wanted to bring to you some recovery material and some thoughts to see what you thought about this. Are you somebody that is learning, having to still have to learn to trust the peace? When we live in chaos, whether you're on this side of mental health or this side of mental health or addiction, it doesn't matter. No matter if we're the one struggling with it or we're the one, a family member that is walking alongside or a friend, it is chaos. It is hard. It is a struggle. It can really put us into some dark places. And when we get in recovery, no matter which side you're on, right? It doesn't matter. When we walk that walk of recovery and we start learning about peace and serenity, it's hard for some of us. It really is. It really is hard. So I'm going to read to you a few things this morning that I'm kind of struggling with this morning. And it's around the just learning to trust the peace. We can be so caught up in the chaos and the unwellness of our home, our work, our community, whatever that is. We can be so used to the unwellness that when we find peace and we find recovery, it scares us a little bit. We don't feel as safe. It takes us a while. We can kind of learn to get used to the monotony and the strenuous parts of living this way. And then we get used to it and it's familiar to us. And then when we get in recovery or we walk out of that chaos, we walk out of the disrespect, it's scary. And when we sit in peace, sometimes it's real. We got to sit with ourselves. So I'm going to read just a small passage to you this morning, my recovery material, and I'd love to hear your thoughts about that. But today, I just want to encourage you, even if it's just for today, to really think about your peace. Jennifer says this morning that the quiet does feel odd. This is good. Yeah, it does feel odd. And then Erin said, this warm weather can go on somewhere. I'm ready for fall. Oh, Erin's one of those fall girls. Yeah. Well, I kind of am. I'm ready for football. But Jennifer, you hit it all. You hit it right on the head this morning. It can be odd, just being quiet and trusting the peace. And I challenge us this morning to think about where we're at today on a Monday, on the 23rd of August. Where are you with your peace? Are you learning to trust it? Are you fighting it? Are you still craving or thinking that, the chaos was better or the unwellness was better? That being quiet sometimes is really odd, is really hard? Well, that's what I'm kind of going through this morning and this past weekend. So I'm going to read to you something from my recovery material for us to ponder on a little bit this morning. Let me know you're out there. Let me know your thoughts about this. And I'm hoping just for today that your Monday will be full of peace. But I want you to take a moment and just think about, are you trusting the peace? Are you embracing the peace? Are you fighting against it? I had to really think about that last night and this morning. Okay, so I'm going to read to you just a little passage that I want us to think about this morning. As we let go of obsession, worries, and focusing on everyone but ourselves, many of us were bewildered by the increasing calmness of our minds. We knew how to live in a state of crisis, but it often took a bit of adjustment to become comfortable with stillness. The price of serenity was the quieting of the constant mental chatter that had taken up so much time. Suddenly, we had lots of time on our hands and we wondered how to fill it. Imagine that, doing something for yourself, loving on you, not running here, running there, putting out fires all the time. It does take time to figure out how to embrace that wonderful grace that my higher power gives me, that your higher power gives you, is to sit and be appreciative of what's going on in your life. Having become more and more serene as a result of working my recovery program, I was surprised to find myself still grabbing for old fears as if I wanted to remain in crisis. I realized that I didn't know how to feel safe unless I was mentally busy. When I say mentally busy, I mean really struggling, not reading a good book, not working a good puzzle, just busy, just busy stuff, worry, concern, obsession. When I worried, I felt evolved and therefore somewhat in control. Yeah. As an exercise, my sponsor suggested that I try to maintain my inner stillness even when I felt scared or doubtful. As I did so, I reassured myself again and again that I was safely in the care of a power greater than myself. Today, I know that sanity and serenity are the gifts I have received for my efforts and my faith. With practice, I'm learning to trust the peace. So, just for today I will relish my serenity. I know that it is safe to enjoy it. Be still and know that I am with you. So, today I will relish my serenity. I know that it is safe to enjoy it. Good morning, Miss Kim. Good morning. So, this morning we're talking about, can we trust the peace? We have prayed for the peace. We have begged for the peace. We've gotten on our knees. We've talked about it in groups at PRN. We've talked about it with our church groups. We've talked about it with family and our best friends. We talk about it in our rooms, AANA, Al-Anon. We talk about it all the time. Our peace. Grant me peace. Give me serenity. Grant me, grant me. But when we find ourselves in a moment of peace, do we trust it? And it's really hard when we're first coming into recovery, or we've had a bump in the road in our recovery, a little sidestep, a little adjustment, some transition, to trust the peace, because we're so used. See, the sun's coming up now, guys. We might have to move our time. We'll get it right one of these days. Not, it would be perfect to walk outside right now. But we've got to learn that when we ask for peace, when we're in recovery, what do we do with it? I'd like to know your thoughts on that. Is being in a peaceful state ever scared you? Have you ever wondered, what do I do with this? You're so obsessed and worried over things that are busy, 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 that when we find our peace, we don't really trust it. We find ourselves scared and worried, feel less controlled, right? I think that's when we know we got to dig in deep. We got to dig in a little deeper and realize that, we're going to have to work a little harder, because peace is what we're striving for, serenity, right? The opposite of chaos, the opposite of madness, right? I know along in my recovery, early on, I did a lot of meetings. Sometimes I went 3 or 4 times a week to Al-Anon, because no matter how hard I dipped into the steps and worked with my sponsor, every time I came to peace, it would scare me to death. I don't know what that was about. And I knew I had to work harder and harder and harder. And I challenged myself today. I think that when we think that we've arrived in our recovery and we don't have to worry about remaining in peace and finding our serenity, that's when we are in trouble, right? That's when we're in trouble. It's a constant work, right, guys? I know Monday, Wednesday, and Friday we come together and I try to share some things with you, thought-provoking, even if it's just for today for you to consider, right? Something to hang on to. But sometimes we get complacent. And I think for me, that's kind of where I had kind of fallen there for a while. And so just for today, coming on with you guys helps me maintain that, keeps me going, because I got to get up and get this thing going, right? I'm an early bird anyway. But just for today, guys, I want you to think about, as you move through your Monday, you're praying for serenity, you're praying for peace, you're in your devotions, whatever that is, your prayer life, speaking or praying to your higher power this morning or as you drive to work. And we pray for peace. We pray for peace for our world. When we find that inner peace, we don't know what to do with it. And as you start your work week, if you're like me, you're hoping for a non-stressful type situation, right? You're hoping for that you can get your work done, you can connect with people, and you can stay in peace. But sometimes, hey, Courtney, good morning. But sometimes we don't learn to trust the peace. We're so used to the chaos. We're so used to the obsessions and going here, going there. And when we're caught up in our addictions and we're caught up in codependency, or we're just caught up, we're not taking good care of our mental health. Our wellness is not where it needs to be. Things can get chaotic. Or if we're living with others who are in the disease of alcoholism or addiction, or they're not taking good care of their mental health, they're following their ways into different things and will not take responsibility, won't listen, right? And we are involved in that. We actually live in it, or it's a part of our direct circle. It can cause our lives to be so obsessed. And that's the way I lived for many years and still do to a certain extent. And so we get used to that. And we think we're in control, right? We think we're in control if we got chaos going on and we're busy. And so I had to ask myself this morning, like, what am I busy with, right? Right now I'm trying to be in a very calm, peaceful state with some transition in my life, some decision making in my life, but I'm feeling unsafe. What's that about? It's learning to trust the peace, learning to trust my higher power. Sometimes I need to just sit and wait. Get in the rooms, get with a recovery champion, get with someone that I trust, get into my readings, whatever that is. Watch something that's really good on television, or sit with a friend, or read a good book, whatever those things are. Sometimes it's just to sit and be still. It's just to be still. It doesn't mean that we have to have all these things going on, like we got to go to a meeting 5 days a week or 7 days a week. Sometimes it is just to be still. But for you and for me, it's individualized. We don't know what each other needs, but we do know that we're all striving for serenity and peace. We want to move through our day today on Monday with peace. We say we do, but do we trust it? At every given turn, when peace presents itself, do we embrace it? We may, and then we give it back because it's too peaceful. We feel less control. We feel less secure. To me, that speaks volumes to me. I don't know about for you on a Monday morning, but I've got to work a little harder in my recovery. I got to work a little bit more around my faith and what serenity means to me and what peace means to me, and the things that I can find to fill that space. The space that I sat and was miserable, sat and obsessed and worried, or became angry or sad or cried, whatever those things are. When I get in a peaceful state, our reading and some of the other things I read last night talked about we don't know what to do with that space. So I challenge us just for today on a Monday, a foggy Monday. The sun's just now coming up. Are we learning to trust the peace? What are we filling our space with? Some of us are getting ready to go to work. Some of us are getting ready to get the kids off to school. Some of us don't know what we're going to do today, right? I don't know where we are. But just for today, are you learning to trust the peace? What can you do to fill that space if you are moving towards peace, right? There's going to be some time of quiet, some alone time, meditation time. Can you handle that? Right? If you can't, what are some things we can do, guys? Reach out to PRN, come to some classes, keep watching some of our virtual stuff, you know, come live to PRN. We're open now. We've got 3 classes a day live. There's a lot of things you can do. You don't have to sit and feel sad or scared, right, by yourself. And that's not what recovery is, a way to walk through and not feel alone, to get with someone that's been there, get there with someone who's got great listening ears, right? Someone who just adores you, someone who is just willing to sit there and let you cry or obsess or whatever you're doing, and then help kind of bring you back around. Guys, when we're chasing the peace, when we're learning to trust the peace, you better believe there's things that are going to come up in our mind and in our heart and in our life that challenge us. It causes us to dig deeper. Is peace worth chasing? Absolutely it is. Our recovery speaks that in every turn. I don't care what page I turn to, the goal is serenity. The goal is self-love. The goal is giving control to our higher power, understanding that we never had control anyway, but letting it go, being able to be quiet and still and trust. We ask for peace, but when we get it, we don't know what to do with it. It scares us. So just for today, I want you to think about, what are you doing with your peace? Are you trusting it? Are you striving for serenity? When you get there, do you know what to do with it? Are you only staying in it for a couple of seconds and you back and back out? That's where I found myself this weekend. That's where I found myself this morning. So learning to trust the peace. Just a thought just for today. So I just want to remind us just a few more things. If you got any thoughts or encouragement for each other, chat about it. Inner stillness. So when we find ourselves not trusting the peace, try to think about your inner stillness, even when you feel scared or doubtful. I reassured myself again and again that I was safely in the care of a power greater than myself. So those of us who've worked the steps, those of us that have been in the rooms, or maybe you've heard of it, right? The power greater than myself, being able to embrace that. There's peace in that. There's where the trust is. Today I know that sanity and serenity are the gifts I have received for my efforts and my faith. With practice, I am learning to trust the peace. Practice. Don't beat yourself up. That's what I'm trying not to do today or this weekend. But it does take practice, learning to trust the peace. So Aaron says, good morning, Aaron. Peace is the goal of the recovery rhythm. Exactly. It is. And we want to have good rhythm today, guys. We really do. What is your recovery rhythm? Are you trusting the peace? It is our goal. What are you going to work on today? What are you going to think about in your thoughts this morning as you come to work, as you get ready for work, whatever you're doing this morning? Trusting the peace. You asked for it. You prayed for it. So our challenge this morning just for today is, what are you going to learn to do with it? How are you going to embrace it and to trust it? When we give all of our obsessions and our things away and we let our higher power take control, right? And whatever walk in recovery we're in, that's one of the things we learn is letting go, right? Letting it go, being able to say to ourselves, there is something bigger than me. I am not in control, and I'm going to learn to trust my higher power. On this Monday, the 23rd, are you able to do that? Can we do that this day? I want you to think about where you are about trusting the peace. I had to really do some soul searching. around that because I've been praying for peace. I've been wanting peace. And I had peace this weekend, but it didn't feel like peace because I wasn't able to sit. I wasn't able to embrace. It's been a long time since I really thought about what peace looked like for me, what serenity felt like for me. And I've got some work to do, guys, because I thought I would just know. Well, apparently not. I got to spend some time thinking about that. Because once I discover for myself what the peace, what the serenity is for me, am I going to trust it? Am I going to sit in it? Am I going to be still in it? Am I going to work in it? Or am I going to fall back into the chaos because that's what was comfortable? That's what felt normal. When you've been doing the same thing most of your life, or for the last 20 years of your adult life, living in this way, it is hard to embrace and trust peace. And I think we just need to be honest about that. Aaron says, peace doesn't just happen, peace is made. Yeah, it is. It doesn't just happen. It is made. It takes work. And then when you achieve it or you think you've achieved it, do you trust it? Will you embrace it? Will you hang on to it even when peace feels like it's not peace? When you're wanting to slip back into the chaos, we're wanting to slip back to the familiar. No matter what side we're on, guys, we got to be very, very careful about this wonderful gift of peace and serenity. Don't take it for granted, and don't think you know what it is either. I challenge us this morning to figure out for you, what is peace and serenity? It doesn't have to look like everybody else's. What does it look like for you? Just for today, I want you to think about that as we travel into work or we're traveling to school or whatever you're doing today. I know we're all wanting a peaceful day. We pray for peace for our world. Our world right now seems weird. Our world right now seems unsafe with everything going on that we see on the news. I'm not even going to get into all of that. It's just too much. Don't even want to do that this morning. But we're praying for peace and serenity. So if we mean that today, just for today, I want you to think about, what does that mean for you? And are you trusting it? Would you know peace if it slapped you in the face? Would you really understand it? Would you love it and embrace it? I really had to challenge myself this weekend and this morning. So I know now where I need to work. And I know now that today I am going to, my prayers will be a little bit different about peace and about serenity. I just prayed for it. Now I'm going to pray for an understanding for it. And that when I recognize it, that I am able to feel it and have the power to sit in it and love it and let it be what it's supposed to be for me. So Courtney says, yes, it took me a while to embrace peace. I confused it in the beginning of my recovery process with boredom. Exactly. Exactly, Courtney. You hit it. When we find peace, sometimes we can think about the boredom because we're so used to going everywhere, right? And our minds just racing in all these thoughts around whatever we were going through. And now all of a sudden we found ourselves in peace and serenity, and it's quiet, right? And we sometimes think we're bored. We have to learn to feel that serenity space, that peace space with things that take care of you or take care of your family, right? And it's not boredom. And Courtney's right. We can get that confused in the beginning of our recovery. And sometimes we can forget. We can be in recovery 15 years and forget. That's why we have to work on this every day, guys. So just for today, learning to trust the peace. I hope you guys have the most amazing Monday ever. I know I've got a lot of work to do. And not only PRN work, but a lot of work to do on me, right? And just some things that that all of us are going through right now, no matter what it is, whether you're changing jobs, whether you changing relationships, whether you're changing homes, we're always shifting and transitioning. Right now, for me, just things are just a little bit more aware. And I'm learning to recognize my peace and my serenity. And so I just challenge each of us today to work on that, carry this into our Monday. When we see that things aren't peaceful or it's not serenity, we need to figure out how to back out of it and reassess, right? Don't embrace things that are opposite of being peaceful and being in serenity today. So just for today, guys, I just challenge you to figure out what that means for you today and grab hold of it and work on it hard. Aaron says the position of peace is stillness. Just for today is about peace. Yeah, it is about peace today. Recognize what that means for you. May not look the same for everybody, but what does that mean to you? And trusting it. Because to me, when I think of peace, I see my higher power, right? It's his gift to me. It's his arms, right? It's his embrace. And I'm safe. It's learning to trust that. Because right now your mind is softer, your thoughts are softer, you're concentrating on letting go of things that were destroying you and your life. And now you've got space to pour in beautiful things. And it takes a while to get used to doing that. And then we have to be kind and give ourselves grace. Psalms 23, absolutely. Guys, it is 7:01. I promised, we do 20 or 30 minutes so you guys can head off to work, head off for your day. I love you guys. Remember, we are open at PRN. And if you need us, please, please, please get in touch with us and let us know what's going on with you and what you need. And Miss Kim Porter will answer the phone. She'll be there today. If you need anything, there's our number. Please come by and see us. We also have our warm line. Make sure you guys copy this number down and pass it along. Pass this just for today session along on your social media. You never know who needs to think about trust and peace today. Just a different way of thinking about it. We just kind of think about, oh, I got peace. I'm praying for peace. But when you get it, do you know it? Do you love it? Do you embrace it? Do you trust it? That takes some work. And we need to be honest about that. Quit beating ourselves up. Warm line, if you're having some distress, you know someone that is needing something, please just, my Chihuahua is going to need to call the warm line because his cat's about to knock her in the middle of next week if she don't stop. Hope, stop. She's going to need to call the warm line to get some consoling. Right. Let me pick her up. Tell everybody good morning, Hope. She is a little hellion this morning with the cat. So hope you might need to memorize this warm line. But guys, please know that we love you at PRN and we are here for you and hoping that you have the most beautiful day ever. And we will see you Wednesday on Just for Today at 6:30, and maybe we'll change the time soon because it's daylight now. So anyway, I don't like being in the house, but we'll talk about it. We'll chat it up soon and see if we need to change the time again. Hey, we can do what we want to. It's recovery. We're PRN. Long as our hearts and minds are clear, and we're chasing that peace and we're embracing that peace, we're all good. And y'all pray for Hope that she don't get eaten by a cat this morning or slapped. But guys, you have a great Monday, and I love you. And please pass this on your social media, and we will see you guys soon, hopefully at PRN. If not, I'll see you Wednesday at 6:30. Love you guys.